So one of the greatest things about the AR-15 is the way that you can customize it, accessorize it, upgrade it, and really make it your rifle or AR pistol. There are so many things you can do to it. But this video is going to be my top 5 favorite AR-15 upgrades. Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. The AR-15, America's carbine, the most popular rifle in this country. One of the greatest things about it, like I said in the opening scene there, is that you can do literally anything to it. You can change out any part you want. It is literally Legos for adults. You can upgrade, customize, add parts, change barrels, calibers. You can do anything to this rifle, or like I said, AR pistol. And that is one of the great things about it, and one of the things that is so much fun about this platform is that you can really make it your own. And so today's video is going to be my top 5 upgrades to the AR-15, and there's gonna probably be some honorable mentions because there's just so much you can do to an AR. But before we get started, as always, I want to thank every one of you that subscribed, liked, shared, or commented on my videos, and especially those of you that have joined Patreon or hit up my Amazon affiliate link, bought something. We get a little kickback from that, and it really helps to make this possible. So thank you very much. Slow down, man. I don't think so. So, we got handguards, we got triggers, optics, slings, very important lights if you're using it for any kind of home defense. And we got a slow the F down sign. Are we gonna slow down? Nope. So, this rifle right here, this is my M&P by Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 2. And if you know about the M&P 15 Sport 2, it doesn't look anything like this when you get it. It is like your basic, very, very basic M4 setup where you've got very basic parts like your A2 6-position collapsible stock. Not the most comfortable or ergonomic thing in the world. Your, standard clamshell handguard. These ones don't even have a heat shield inside them. Just standard plastic deal. Nothing you can mount to or anything like that. A2 pistol grip. Again, not a great angle in my opinion. Way too pronounced of an angle, and this little tab is just stupid to me. Standard mil-spec charging handle that you can only grab a latch on that side. Kind of need 2 fingers to actuate it. This rifle came as basic can be. And when I first got into ARs, that was all I thought I needed. And really, it is all you need. You can take a rifle like that, head out to the range, practice, train with it, and get very proficient with it. And it'll do what you need it to do, which is send bullets down range. But there are so many things you can do to make it fit you better, to make it shoot better, to make it more accurate, reliable, more ergonomic, and and you can design it purpose-built for whatever purpose you need your AR-15 for. So, top 5 custom upgrades, aftermarket parts, things like that. I would say handguard, but most AR-15s you're going to buy these days are going to come with some type of free-floated handguard. I had to change this one out, obviously. And in fact, I went through a couple iterations. I tried a drop-in handguard at first, eventually went to a free-float design. And it's probably the biggest change that I made to this rifle and made most of these other things possible because it gave me mounting solutions. M-LOK is what I like to go with. You know, you have key mod out there as well. Although I think key mod is kind of falling by the wayside these days. And then also like quad rails where you have Picatinny on all four sides, like the Daniel Defense, Riz 2, other things like that. Knight's Armament makes a great one. But we're not going to include a handguard in our top 5 because most people buying ARs these days, there's so many on the market that already come with a decent free-floated handguard. So what am I going to start with? I'm going to start with an optic because you need some sort of sighting system. That is a lot of S's, but you really do. So when you get, most rifles come what's known as optics ready. We'll do the double air quotes there. Optics ready is just a term meaning that it has no sighting system on it from the factory or from the store. And so an optics ready rifle will have at least this stretch of Picatinny right here on top of your upper receiver that you can mount an optic to. Now you don't have to go with an optic. Yeah, I've got backup iron sights on here. These fold down. And you can go with iron sights for sure. Or you can go with the A2 charging or carry handle, you know, and you might have your front sight post. That'll work, and there have been GIs using those sights for a lot of years and qualifying with them and, you know, being very effective with them. But with modern optics, it just makes things so much easier. So you have a lot of great options out there. LPVOs are something that I'm actually going to get into really soon. I plan on putting an LPVO on this rifle shortly. When I initially set it up, I set it up for home defense purposes. But now that I have a shorter AR pistol, that is my home defense AR. So I'm going to start going a little longer range with this, put an LPVO on it. But either way you want to go, whether a red dot, an LPVO, or like an EOTech, which is a holographic, basically does the same kind of thing a red dot does though. It just makes it so much quicker and so easy to be accurate. If you have this thing sighted in and zeroed correctly, you can get on target so quick with a red dot like this. Just pulling the rifle up to your chin, your cheek weld, you'll get your line of sight through the optic. You'll be on target much quicker. Red dots are super fast. LPVOs are great for short or long distances. But an optic is a must in my opinion. Like I said, you can go with iron sights, and I like to go with both. I put backup iron sights on all my ARs, just in case. An optic, being that it's an electronic instrument, you never know. Something could happen. You could forget to change your batteries. The glass could break. Your LED could go out. Very, very low likelihood that something like that will happen. But I do believe in backup iron sights for that reason. But optic, number one thing to change in your AR-15 or to add to it. So the next thing we're going to talk about are slings. You need a way to retain your AR-15 on you in case you have to use your hands for any reason. You have to be able to sling your rifle up. Besides being extremely helpful at the range, when you got to deal with setting up targets, whatever you're doing, and being able to set your rifle up on yourself so that you can use your hands, a sling is very important for if you have to use your rifle for any kind of duty use or, shit hits the fan type scenario. You need to be able to use your hands and sling your rifle up and do whatever needs to be done. A sling to a rifle is like a holster is to a pistol. It's that important. And it's a safety thing so that you don't have to put your rifle down and not have control of it. Now, I recommend slings like this, where you've got something where you can tighten and loosen quickly and easily with just your thumb. That way you can pull it up tight on yourself and have it, nice and tight. Grab it really quick and you're loose and you can move around, go switch hands, do whatever you need to do. But an adjustable sling, I like a 2-point So this one attaches up here on my handguard, and back here, I put it on the opposite side, on the rear end of the rifle, and the side closest to me on the front end. And that way, when you do have it slung up tight, let's see, it'll actually hold right here, right where you want it to. So then when you go to shoulder it, it literally just comes right up into your shoulder. There are 1-point slings. There are a lot of ways you could do it, and I've tried them all. And the 2-point, in my opinion, is the way to go. And make sure you have a way to loosen and tighten it quickly and easily. One thing that is very important on any defensive weapon is a weapon-mounted light. And you see that on both of my ARs that I have a light and a pressure pad. So this makes it really easy to actuate with your offhand. And so this has an Olight, which, you know, Olight, yes, kind of a cheaper option. It's like $130, I believe. But it's rechargeable. It has a great mounting system direct to M-LOK, so I don't have to put a piece of Picatinny rail on here. And it has a pressure pad with a couple different modes. You can hold it down for, you know, momentary on, or if you just click it quick, it's constant on. I like to mount the pressure pad right where my thumb can get to it when I have the rifle shouldered with my offhand here. A light is very important because if you ever do have to use this in like a home invasion type scenario or something, you're going to want to see what you're doing. And positive target identification is very important. You do not want to shoot at something that you shouldn't be shooting at. So make sure you have a light. The light and the optic work together to create a system where you can be accurate and you can be accountable for your shots. So we got optics, we got slings, and we got lights. Those three things, extremely important if you're going to be able to use your AR effectively. Now, one thing I think a lot of people overlook is furniture, and I'm going to kind of lump this together because otherwise we would have a lot more than 5 here. So when it comes to furniture, that means foregrips. I've got an angled foregrip on my AR pistol here, a vertical foregrip on my AR rifle. And you can see that I set both of these up very, very similarly, except for that foregrip, just because gotta follow the law. This being a pistol, not a short-barreled rifle, you cannot put a vertical foregrip on it. So remember that if you're setting up an AR with a barrel length less than 16 inches, do not put a vertical foregrip unless you've paid your tax stamp and got it approved by the ATF as a short-barreled rifle. But I'm not just talking about foregrip. I'm also talking about your pistol grip. This one came with the A2 pistol grip on it. Not very ergonomic. I've got the Mission First Tactical on here. It has a much better angle, more straight up and down. And it has made all the difference in the world. I've got the Magpul K2, I believe, on this one. Then, you know, your stock. You're going to want to change out your stock. At least I did. For one, just makes your rifle look a lot better, but also more comfortable. This one is also Mission First Tactical. This is their Battle Link Minimalist stock. It's very lightweight. It's got, you know, QD sling swivel slots. On the AR pistol, again, being that it's not an SBR, can't have a stock on it. This is the SB Tactical SBA 3 brace. Works great for my uses. But, yeah, furniture. Foregrip, pistol grip, stock, and in, you know, the ergonomics department, we're going to talk about charging handles as well. Because the mil-spec charging handle that you get with the regular AR-15 sucks. It just really does. I like Radian Raptor. I've got on this one. I've got the Radian Raptor LT on this one. I just think that ergonomically, they're fantastic. They're really easy to actuate. Either side, they're ambidextrous, and they look great as well. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is going to be triggers. Triggers are something that I've found to be extremely important. So on my rifle here, I have the Palmetto State Armory 3.5 pound match grade trigger. It's like $100 these days, 120 bucks, 3.5 pound pull, and it makes all the difference in the world compared to a mil-spec trigger. No creep, no grit. It's right at the wall. Breaks, light, crisp, nice reset. It's just a great trigger, and it's a great trigger for the money. On my AR pistol, I installed a much more expensive trigger. This is the Fostech Echo 2. And if you see here, it gives you a third position. But no, that is not full auto. That is echo mode or binary. And what that basically means is that when you're in binary mode, which is that third position, you pull the trigger. And after your bolt cycles, when you release the trigger, the hammer drops again, sending another round down range. So you can fire and mag dump extremely fast, or you can get really fast, accurate double taps with it. I initially got it for fun. It's a really fun trigger. It's very expensive because you can go through a lot of ammunition very quickly. But with a little bit of upgrades, I put a different spring in it and a bushing, really lightened the pull and shortened it in both echo mode and your standard semi-auto. And now it is a really good trigger just by itself. It's actually, I think it's about like 2 pounds now. It's extremely light. It doesn't really have a hard wall like most single stage triggers do, but it's an extremely light break, and I absolutely love it. I'm not saying you need a binary trigger. They have FRT triggers, things like that on the market as well. That's a forced reset trigger. Look into it if you don't know what that is. But get yourself a good trigger. Whether it's just a good light single stage trigger like this, a 2-stage, something like a Geisley, depending if you're going to be doing more, longer range, precision type of shooting. Putting a different trigger in your AR is going to make a world of difference, because that is the thing. As long as your sights are sighted in and zeroed, your trigger is going to be what's going to maintain that accuracy for you. Because if you can have a smooth trigger pull directly to the rear, as long as you're on target, you will hit your target. And so a trigger makes a huge difference. Plus, just the way it feels to have a good trigger in your AR is huge, believe me. So now, a couple of honorable mentions. Muzzle devices. Muzzle devices are very important as well. You can absolutely get away with a standard A2 birdcage flash hider, and you'll do just fine with that. It does great at what it does. But I've become really fond of muzzle brakes. This is the Strike Industries J-Com Gen 2. You can see it's a 3-chamber brake. Also, hides flash in a similar way that the A2 does, but it's got ports on top as well to keep your muzzle rise from coming up too much. On this one, I've got the Strike Industries oppressor on the end. It's basically a blast sporting device that has a QD attachment to their other muzzle devices. It actually works on both of these ARs, but this is their King Comp, which is a 2-chamber brake, very big chambers, aggressive brake. It's got some prongs on the end for flash hiding as well, and it just makes a huge difference. This short AR, it really used to recoil and be not unmanageable, but especially when I was trying to, do fast mag dumps with that echo trigger, I could just see my red dot bouncing all over the target. Whereas this muzzle brake will keep your muzzle flat and control recoil and muzzle rise extremely well, to where you can just get shots off as fast as you want and still be on target. And that makes a huge difference. So, a couple other things that I think are great things to upgrade. I really like the Magpul bad lever. I put it on all my ARs. There's just so many things you can do with these. You could change out internals besides triggers, bolt carrier groups with different coatings on them and stuff. Make sure you get ones that are high pressure tested, magnetic particle inspected. There's so many quality parts you can get for an AR. I believe in having backup iron sights as well as your optic. There's just a lot you can do with this. AR-15s, that's one of the things that makes them fun, is making it your own. So I hope you guys enjoyed this totally unscripted and off-the-cuff video about my top 5 AR-15 accessories. There are way more than 5, but, you know, I think those 5 things are very important. Optic, sling, light, trigger, and your, furniture. Those kinds of things will make a world of difference in your AR-15, how it feels, how it handles, and how you're able to use it for whatever purpose you need to use it for. If you like this video, please drop me a like, leave me a comment. What are your top 5 AR-15 accessories, upgrades, customizations, aftermarket parts? What do you like to do to your AR-15s? I like to kind of set mine up all pretty similarly so that they feel the same no matter which one I pick up. Please let me know what you think. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I am working very hard at growing this, and every subscriber makes a big difference to me. Check out the Patreon link down below. If you want to join Patreon, I've got new content coming out for that all of the time, and it is the best way to support the channel, as well as the Amazon affiliate link. You can click on that, and anything you buy on Amazon within the next 24 hours, as long as you clicked on my link, gives the channel a little kickback, helps pay for guns, ammo, gas to get to the range, new cameras, microphones, whatever I can use to make this channel better for all of you, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. I will link to some fun AR accessories down there in that Amazon, and I just really appreciate you guys. It's from Sawtooth Tactical. Stay strapped to get clapped.